Yeah. And died for a night.
South 71 Music.
Yeah. They hate a God. Hey. Queen. They hate our God, so they water down our culture. Hey, promoting lies just to redefine our culture. Hey, they must forgot we descend from black kings and queens. Down 911, it's been a mistake in identity. They hate our God, so they water down our culture. Hey, promoting lies just to redefine our culture. Hey, they must forgot we descend from black kings and queens. Down 911, it's been a mistake in identity. And die for and not a blind leader, blind puppet master. Control your mind with your vast GMO, your food, fly water. Chemtrails too, it's the truth and you have no clue. Christ black and he look like you wonder where, but hey, I like those shoes. Get it? I like those shoes. The Negro don't get the picture unless you paint it for him. You can show him all through the scripture, he'll still ignore you. This Hebrew is on a mission, the spirit my second witness. If he can't take the heat to keep your ass from out the kitchen. Hebrew slaves in America, this is Egypt replica. I am just a messenger. Babylon is next to burn. Yeah, say Babylon is next to burn. And I'm praying for his next return. They hate our God, so they water down our culture. Hey, promoting lies just to redefine our culture. Hey, they must forgot we descend from black kings and queens. Down 911, it's been a mistake in identity. They hate our God, so they water down our culture. Hey, promoting lies just to redefine our culture. Hey, they must forgot we descend from black kings and queens. Down 911, it's been a mistake in identity.
Full throttle, but he passed it with his proof. 14 years minus 2. I've been active in this truth. Army fatigue and dusty boots. Fringes with the blue, the end of the Gentile rule. Man, that's the return of the Hebrews. Ancient Israelite like the Avis in your head to hit the Jebusites. But most they ain't prepared to fight. Serve the Lord with all your might. Follow Christ, dedication, sacrifice your life. No sweat, just give your hour your best. The true sons of light, no, he don't take kindly to threats. Make sure you're aiming right. My neighbor Nathan Kale Perez. She falls overnight. Righteousness, your spiritual vest. Make sure you strap it tight. Judgment like a thief. HICKMAN up in these streets.
They hate our God, so they water down our culture. Hey, promoting lies just to redefine our culture. Hey, they must forgot we descend from black kings and queens. Down 911, it's been a mistake in identity. They hate our God, so they water down our culture. Hey, promoting lies just to redefine our culture. Hey, they must forgot we descend from black kings and queens. Down 911, it's been a mistake in identity.
All praise to the Most High Yah. They try to hide our history, but they ain't get far. Through the grace and the blood of YHWH'S, the remnant is being awakened to their true culture. Changing the image to blind the mass without no eclipse glass and try to look right past. But you see me, you like my walk, my style. Afraid because I'm wild, and all along you vultures try to be me. You see my light, it shine. You see it from behind. It's so bright, it blind, but you don't want to see. And I'm fringed up now. You sit and wonder how through all the deception niggas found out.
South 71 Music.
Mic check, 1 2 1 2. Can I be heard? If I can be heard, give me a Yahoo up in the chat. If I can be heard, blessings, family. What's the word? Yeah, good to see y'all in the building. All right, I see the title: "The Vanity and Humiliation of a False God." Sky, Earth, Spirit, tap in, tap in, tap in. Tap in, tap in. Good to see y'all in the building, Yahoo. All right. I see y'all. You understand? Love and light, peace be within all you brothers and sisters, and without all you brothers and sisters, I salute you all in the name of the great spirit, the Most High, the Creator, Yahuwah, Yahweh. Blessings, peace, abundance, healing, love, and all of the above. You understand? We're going to get into what's called the Book of Divinity. Some more of the Book of Divinity. The last two classes been about how discipline leads to divinity or your divine nature. All right. Also, dealing with the primary and secondary education once you cross over. All right. And how you can grow, and rise up in the ranks in the kingdom of true God, established by the Creator himself. And, do a major work for the Most High or the Creator Yahweh when he calls upon you in time to come. You understand? With that, there are those who get tired and lose patience and be like, I can do better myself. But then they rebel and start trying to set up their own thing. And even if it may be, with good intentions at times, all those who go away from the Creator, the Most High, you feel me? Everybody got to come back and get themselves right with them. There is no rising up or resurrecting without the Most High stamping you valid, period. You know what I mean? It's just what it is. So I see y'all in the building. Bless up. Dreadful Cosma, my brother YAH'KI. Bless up. Matthew Thomas, blessings. Anna Nails, my beloved sister, bless up. Mariah KC in the building. Blessings. Jason Buckley in the building. Shalom, fam. Blessings. Ethael, blessings. Jerry, my beloved brother Jehu M. Bless up, King. How you doing? BC, big salute. Blessings. Right on for the prayers and support, family. Y'all understand that and know that. Yahweh. Blessings, King. Shebrew Faith is a swift messenger. 144 in the building. That's a swift messenger right there. All right. Samaria Roel. Just like my youngest daughter. Her name's Samara. Her name's Samaria Roel. Salute to your queen. What's the word? Blessings. She from Flo Rida right there. Blessing. Charles Israel. That's the boxer right there. My beloved brother. When the next fight came, you already know. I gotta see you put them tips on somebody. You know what I'm talking about? Let me know when the next fight. We're gonna come out and support you, King. You already know. You just see you put the tips on somebody, put the paws on somebody. That's my brother right there. They just turned pro a couple fights ago. See, it's business. My brother Yehuda Israel going hard on all the social media platforms. You dig? Abundant blessings to him and his family, his wife, his children, grandchildren, all that, bro. Y'all stay focused. My brother Cornell Davis, California in the building. The elder Cornell Davis. What's the word, King? Blessings to you. Blessings to you. NehemiYAH Zion. Blessings to you and your family, Queen. Bless up. Brent Blake, Yeshaya, my dirty South brethren. Bless up, King. Birmingham, Alabama. My YAH'S, another Floridian. My elder sister, blessings. Rita, what's the word, Rita? Seeing you in a minute. How you doing? Abundant blessings to all y'all. Yafa, what's the word? Yafa. How you doing? Blessings to you. MALAKIMAC. I think that's bronze, man. I think this is my bronze. Bronze be on the monk. You dig? Yazo, my brother from Texas. Bless up, King. What's the word? Y'all doing them trucks right now? YAH'KI, my beloved brother from the radio days. X1 West Israelite, Jonathan Taylor, my brother YAH'KI. You understand? He kick ass and take names on the regular. That's my brother, though, man. Abundant blessings to you and your family out. Peace be within you and without you, bro. Believe that. I see y'all. So anybody I miss, believe me, I ain't miss you on purpose. You dig? Ain't nothing but love, light, and healing over this way. Where my brother at? YAH'KI, the DC sniper in the building. Bless up. Hold on. YAH'KI, the DC sniper in the building.
You dig? I got my HONORANDHUMILITY, the Essene in the building. Hey man, we gonna have to go to Africa and claim that land soon, King. You already know. We need some land around this deal. Brother Yahudah, my beloved brother, bless up, bless up. Eliyahu, YAHU, my beloved brother. Good holiday the other day, King. Bless up, Lawrence Burton. Created King. Okay. Oh, that's right. Shout out to the haters, jaw jackers and naysayers. Yeah. We love y'all too. Bless up. Shout out to the haters. Shout out to the haters, jaw jackers and naysayers. All right, we love y'all too. So look, man, the channel, we've been dealing with spiritual progression. You understand? Shedding all the things that really have nothing to do with you elevating spiritually. You understand? The tribal warfare. You know, if you got your fringes on today, if you took your bath and your fringes, if the woman got her head wrapped or she don't, if the man got his head covered or he don't, you know, all the little things that Israel, if you pronounce the name, the name of the Most High this way or that way, if you're using Hebrew and you're speaking in vowels, I can't talk to you. You know, all the mumble mouth, milly mouthing. You know, all the things that keep people divided. We're not dealing with that. If that's where you at, that's where you at. But we tend to focus more on the progression side of it. All right, the progression side, because that's what it's all about. You progressing, you learning while you in what we call this physical life. You understand? And getting better while you in this physical life. And then once you cross over, same thing. Right? Like the creator never stopped creating. Like you ain't. You know, in other words, it's like this. We in kindergarten. Put it that way. You got to climb the grades. You dig? And death, even in the Nazarene literature, tell you that the grave is the doorway to immortality. So this is just the beginning. Death is a part of the natural transition, but life goes on. You see what I'm saying? So we're gonna deal with today. We're gonna deal with a false god, all right, who decided to do his own thing and go against what the creator had established. And you know, if we get all the way done or close to getting done, we even get to the point to where, you understand, he had to realize, man, I'm going off, I'm tripping. You dig? I thought I knew something, right? Remember this, everyone that goes against the Most High, you're going to be right back in front of them. You're going to be right back in front of them like, I tripped. Yeah, this is the Most High's thing. You feel me? And either we gonna sit back and use what we have as a means to help raise up our brothers and sisters. Look, even when you cross over, you still gonna be having to look out. You see what I'm saying? So that's what this thing is about, man. And it's about us like sincerely doing righteous works for one another. Whether the truth about this, y'all, whether you a man or an angel. You understand? Anytime selfishness creeps in, anytime milly mouthing creep in, anytime any type of mumble mouthing, any type of doubt, any type of fear, none of that has to do with the Most High and his kingdom. None of that. Salute, all praise to the Most High. My brother YAH'KI. He said that was an excellent class, sir. All praise, bro. Did we learn together? That's it. I'm on the path with every last one of y'all. You dig? No big eyes and little U's. His. So look, let me go ahead and share this real quick and let's go ahead and dive on in. Good to see y'all in the building. Bless up. Bless up. All right, let's get into it though. All right, so this is what I want to show. This is what I want to show right here. Okay, share screen. Bing. All right, so what we're going to get into today is what's called the Book of Divinity. All right, chapter 10. Now, the last two classes, that's what it's about. Discipline leads to divinity. Discipline does. All right. So now we're about to go deal with someone who just lost patience. All right. And thought he could do his own thing. And you feel me? And even those that was rolling with him, they wanted to start doing their own thing. You dig? And man, understand this. Everyone who goes against the creator doubles back and got to holler at him. Everybody. Whether you man or angel. You dig? So I thought this would be something good to share with the fam. Thought this would be something good. We can take the wisdom out of this and apply that to ourselves, making sure we not going off. You know what I mean? All right, we ain't got no lag in the day. We all good. My brother Vanity is long from the ill side. Bless up, King. Good to see you. Okay, so this is Book of Divinity, chapter 10. I'm going to start at verse 1. In the 1200 year after Fragapati in the east colony of Haredi, one Sea Tusk, a former lord of YHWH'S hosts. Look at this. Nigga named Sea Tusk. One Sea Tusk, a former lord of YHWH'S hosts, renounced YHWH, the creator, and falsely proclaimed himself Ahura, the all master. Y'all hear this? So 1200 years after after a high-raised Etherian angel, son of the creator named Fragapati, and the work that he was doing, there rise up a false lord. This cat ain't even no God. He's a lord. Meaning he ain't even went through all the education to even become a god or a lord god yet. He's just a lord. And even though he's advanced, he ain't, he ain't that deal. But he believes he is. So he renounced the creator, right? And then proclaims himself as the creator, Ahura, the all master. Look at this. And he took with him 3 lords of grade 88. So these cats is up there. They up in the grades, you know what I mean? They not felling. You know what I mean? They not below the grades. These are not demons, drudges. You know what I mean? None of that. You dig? This ain't none of that. These cats is up there in the grade. 88. You know what I mean? Look at this. It says, with him 3 lords of grade 88, as well as 12 sub-gods of grade 64, and 1,600 students of 800 years resurrection. So so he's dealing with, angels or whatever who have been in the realm, the unseen realm, for a while. At least 800 years. Look at this. None of whom were less than grade 60 and were sufficient to pass as brides and bridegrooms. So everybody that he convinced to roll with him and his rebellion, they actually were at the passing grade. So when it was time for them to inherit the emancipated heavens of the creator, you know what I mean, the higher heavens and all that, they was prepared. They had their grade was good enough. The lowest is like 60, and that's good enough to still be a bride or a bridegroom to the creator. Meaning, you know what I mean, that's enough for you to rise up and experience the emancipated heavens of the Most High. In my Father's house of many mansions, right? Well, so everybody that chose to rebel with Sea Tusk, or who called himself Ahura, all they needed was patience. All they needed was patience to wait it on out. They all had grades high enough to be a bride or a bridegroom, meaning they had grades sufficient enough to pass. They wasn't flunking. You understand? They would trip off this. They had done enough good works amongst angels and men to be considered a bride or a bridegroom to the creator and to witness and experience his emancipated heavens. You feel me? So all they needed was patience. They didn't even have to rebel with this cat. Patience. See that? You high in grade, but you lack what? Patience. Look at this. It says right here, and these students took with them 36,000 teachers, factors, physicians, and nurses, all of whom were higher than grade 40. And Ahura appropriated to himself one colony. And look, if y'all look at the previous classes, we show you, you know what I mean, like what you learning, the primary education, once you cross over, and the secondary education, all the way up to you become a lord, which is after several hundred years of learning, working, and examination. So yeah, you know what I mean, these are all different ranks. Teachers, there are teachers in the heavens, factory workers of factories, physicians and nurses. Like, who you think receive the spirits of the dead when they cross over? They're newborn spirits, they're birthed in spirit. So there have, just like in the physical realm, there are nurses there when you come through the womb of your mama. When you cross over, there are physicians and nurses there, because you're a newborn spirit. You see what I'm saying? Look at it. And Ahura appropriated to himself one colony of 110 million angels, together with the colleges, schools, factories, and all the things belonging in them. And the 3 lords took their kingdoms, and by annexation made them part and parcel with Ahura's kingdom. Now, these 3 lords' kingdoms comprise the largest habitable places of mortals in Venue, which is India, and Japheth, which is like China and Asia and all that, and the greatest heavenly places of angels in the first resurrection. We're like, look, they had their kingdoms right above India and Japheth, India and Asia. All right, look at this. And Ahura divided up the regions he thus obtained, making confederate heavenly kingdoms, sufficient in number to give place of dominion to his lords and gods, and make sub-gods out of all the 1,600 students. And after that, Ahura counted his people, and there were more than 3 billion souls in his heavens. Look, so he didn't pull the straight, rebel move. He didn't pull the straight revolt, right? And he putting everybody in position. He's putting everybody in position. You dig? Trip off this. Watch this. God sent message. Now, this God is a God that's working that's a son of the Most High who is still loyal. All right. This is, in other words, this is one of Tusk or Ahura's brothers, partners, friends. Like, what is you doing? Look at this. God sent messengers to Tusk, who had assumed the name of Ahura Master, admonishing and inquiring, my Lord, whom I have loved, whom by my own hand was crowned in the name of YAHWH. So this God right here, who's a son of the Creator, who's still down with the Creator in his setup, send word to Tusk or Ahura and say, nigga, I crowned you. I'm the one put the crown on your head in the name of YAHWH or Jehovah. I'm the one crowned you. You know what I mean? Look at it. Whom by my own hand was crowned in the name of YAHWH. Why have you deserted the Father's kingdoms? In what way have you had cause to complain against YAHWH or Jehovah? Or against me, your God? So he's showing you that the Creator, YAHWH, Jehovah, and God are not the same. God is a son of the Creator. All right? So was this false God right here? Look at this. Or against me, your God, O my son, my Lord. Do not say you have gone so far you cannot return. What can you ask of me that I will not grant you? No, even judge me. And if you desire all the heavens and the earth in my place, I will abdicate to you and become your lowest servant or whatever you will put upon me. So here's one of his brothers of higher rank letting them know, like, look, ask me whatever you want. Just don't do this. I'll be your servant. You can sit, you can rule in my place. But whatever you do, don't go against Creator, though, man. See how much love he got for him? He letting it be known, like, look, man, whatever you want, you dig? Like, whatever you want, I give it to you. I'll even abdicate what I'm doing and turn it over to you. But whatever you do, do not go against the Most High. Don't do that. Look at this. Look how he responds. And remember the name of the class, the vanity and humiliation of a false God. We dealing with one, a cat who took on the name of Ahura, the false God. All right, look at it. Ahura returned his answer, because I have nothing against you. I have alienated myself and my kingdom from you. I do not desire your kingdom, nor even my own. Behold, I looked upon you, and you were pure and holy. I looked upon the kingdoms of heaven and the kingdoms of earth, and they were impure and unholy. Then came certain brother lords to me, most wise lords, and they said, unless pure God, unless holy God will be more efficient. So I was persuaded to my course. So he was like, look, man, I was persuaded by other disaffectionate, other of those who have failed back from the ranks and the kingdoms of the Creator. You understand that I could do this. So that's what I'm doing. Look at this. God replied to this saying, behold, we have a diva. We have a politic body. We have a Congress in the heavens. You could have brought that before them. God replied to this saying, behold, we have a diva. Why did you not speak thus before me? Face to face. Remember that. Remember that God, who outranks this false Lord right here, is letting him know, you could have came and hollered at me face to face, Jack. You know that. What you doing, you dig, doing this clandestinely? What are you doing this secretly? What's going on? You know you could have hollered at me face to face. And look, you realize that even in the flesh, when it's face to face, you understand that's a whole different look. It's a whole different ball game when it's face to face, right? So I found that interesting. Even these angels who have crossed over, who have thousands of years of experience in the unseen realms and all that. They talking like we talk. I'm like, look, you should have came hollered at me before you did that. We got a diva. You could have brought your complaint before all of us, and we could have considered what was going on. But you got on some secret stuff. Look at this right here. And your three great lords were also divins, meaning part of the Congress or that political body in the heavens that form laws. And they likewise were silent on the matter. The div, or that's the title God holds, the div or God would have decreed whatever was all wise. Because I was in darkness, I did not see your thoughts, nor those of your lords. And you have heaped shame upon me. How shall I send my record to who? Etheria. Those are the emancipated heavens, y'all. The highest heavens. Worlds without end. How shall I send my record to Etheria? Shall I say, behold, certain lords consulted clandestinely and then concluded to overthrow the creator. And in fact, they have gone and set up a kingdom of their own, calling it the all highest. He like, look, you know, I got to report this back to the higher ups. What am I going to tell them? That you rebelled and revolted, and now you calling your little makeshift kingdom the all highest? Is that what I'm supposed to say? Brother, don't do this. Brother, don't do this. Look at this. Book of Divinity, chapter 10, verse 7. Hear me yet, and I will endeavor to speak wisely to you. Some days ago, your messengers notified me that you have repudiated Yahuwah, saying there is no all highest person. I can't make myself high as the highest. Then your messengers gave me a map, saying, behold, here are the boundaries of the kingdom of Ahura Mazda, the all-sufficient high God. So he said, yeah, your little oaks came to me bragging about you. And they showed me a map of your kingdom, claiming you rule all this. Is that true? Yeah, your little oaks, you know, your little misfits came and told me. Look at this, verse 10, verse 8. I looked over the map, and look, this is God who down with the creator. Look what he telling the little false God. He say, I looked over the map and saw its great extent. And I surmised to myself, he is a great God who can rule over all that. For I knew you. For I know you in your education. See what he telling them? When your little oaks showed me the map of your dominion, I say, man, this is a bad nigga right here, boy. He ruling over all that. Can't be Cetus. Can't be who y'all. Cetus can't be this Ahura you talking about. For I know you. You see? See, it's a whole different ball game when somebody know you, Jack. And I know you. Look at what he say. For I know you and your education, which is as great as any lords in Atmospheria. And we read about all it takes to become a lord, right? And it's some high advanced, high vibrational, but Lord is like one of the lowest ranks you can be. So God right here is telling this false Lord, like, look, Jack, I know you. You ain't get past kindergarten. You ain't get past your ABCs and your 1, 2, 3s, Jack. What you mean? You teaching people calculus. How? I know you. For I knew you in your education, which is as great as any lords in Atmospheria. Atmospheria is the atmosphere, the heavens that belong to the earth. All right. So he's like, yeah, you got the same education as anybody who graduated from kindergarten. That's what he's telling them. You ain't got nothing different. Like, I know you. But you know you cannot control even a plateau. Man, you was a little low. What are you doing? You know what I mean? Like, you was a straight little low. What are you doing claiming you the all highest? How? When you can't even do the work of a God. You a Lord. You ain't get past kindergarten. But you know you cannot control even a plateau. Can you raise your hand and stop the AG or the Jaya? Or the nebulae, which is darkness, substance of darkness, locations of darkness that the earth travels through, and substances fall on the earth. You understand? And at times to try mortals and angels to learn to master the elements. All right. So he's saying you can't raise your hand and stop the darkness or comets or nebula or any substance that fall to the earth. You can barely change a single current of wind. Look, Jack, look, listen to me. You just became a Lord. You can barely change a single current of wind, nor can you cast a drought on any land. And yet you know there are gods who can do these things by a motion of one finger. How then do you dare proclaim yourself an all-sufficient, all-sustaining high God? Ooh, wee. Do y'all hear what this God is saying to Ahura the false? Y'all heard what he's saying? He's saying you ain't educated. You understand? You ain't educated enough to be calling yourself the all highest. You can't even sustain yourself. How? How? You can't establish a plateau. You can't even change a current of wind, and you know there are gods that can move their finger and make that happen. So how are you claiming to be the all highest? How are you claiming all this is your dominion, Jack, and you ain't got past kindergarten? How? Makes sense, don't it? Makes sense. Ooh, but that show you y'all patience. And also pride will rise up, man, if you ain't careful. Careful. You understand? Look, fight your mind and let your mind know, no, I'm not being selfish today. I'm not being angry today. I'm not being prideful today. You understand? I'm not being vindictive. I ain't gonna be no overall scumbag or no misfit today. You see what I'm saying? You gotta check that, because you see, same thing can happen in the heavens with the angels. Look at this. Verse 9. But I will not rebuke you, for I desire your love and your help. So he's still there trying to get him like, look, don't do this. You know, right? You can tell the people you roll with whatever you want, but you and I know what's going on. Like, I know you. What you mean? What you mean? You know you gonna fall behind this. I crowned you. What you mean? Like, how is you this all highest God of the highest, and I crowned you as a Lord? Your education ain't past the kindergarten. How is you teaching somebody calculus? You see that? Oh, wait. So if we got some understanding so far, go ahead, give me a 9 up in the chat. Bless up. We going over the vanity and humiliation of a false God. You seeing what's happening with this cat who rebelled from up under YAHWH'S kingdom and decided to do his own thing. You know what I mean? Decided to do his own thing. And one of his friends who been in the realm just as long or even longer, like, look, I know you, Jack. You ain't ready for none of that. Stop rebelling. All right? Stop rebelling. It's that simple. Shout out to the haters, y'all jackers and naysayers. Yeah, we love y'all too. I see you Millie Mouth Nick Rose looking. That's all good. I see you looking. With your looking ass. All right, let's keep working. Let's keep working. Look at it. So he's saying, but I will not rebuke you, for I desire your love and your help. I will win you by any sacrifice I can make. So he's like, look, man, don't do this. Whatever I need to do to help you out of this, I'll do it. Behold, there is great darkness in heaven and on earth. Whatever I may be short in, I will rebuke myself in after ages. I pray then, return to me and make exactions upon me in my kingdoms which are lost. Behold, Diva, or the Congress in the heavens, is broken up. With your dismemberment of heavens, others will follow. So he's like, look, come on back and get this right. You did, because look, you rebelling gonna cause a chain reaction that's gonna hurt every last one of y'all. Look at this right here. Alas, I will not look upon even that which my soul sees. I plead for your love and assistance. Nevertheless, if the all highest light for the all best good shows you that you are right, do not come to me. I know the great spirit will sustain me, even though my soul is well near crushed to pieces by the loss of so fair love. Dang. To this, Ahura replied, if it were not the wisest, best course to do as I did, how did the thought come to me? God replied, because of the long reign of YAH'KI, you were inoculated with darkness. Even as a mortal on a rainy day loses his patience to be wise. Then Ahura sent the following, I have been patient in my answers, but now I will speak plainly. First of all, you are all pure and most wise, above all other gods. This is what the false God saying to the God that stayed down with the creator. For more than 200 years, I have been a faithful Lord to you and your kingdoms. At first, the great light came to you, and a voice came out of the light. Then I was afraid and awestruck, because I believed you were so near the Creator. Your every word and act were worshipful to me. At last, Book of Divinity 10 and 13, at last I rebuked myself, saying to myself, fool, with the exclamation point, giving worship to man born of woman. Remember your Creator only. So the false God is telling true God that's down with the Most High, like, look, I looked at you as the all highest and so close to the Creator. Right? That's what he going off at. You don't look at no man or no angel. You know what I mean? As if they're the Creator or, you know, so near to him. And nah. You don't do that's where you go off. So then he finally caught himself, right? Giving worship to man born of a woman. Remember your Creator only, which is true, right? So even the false God let it be known, like, I was tripping by having too much adoration for you, right? Look at this. But the times changed. YAH'KI fell upon heaven and earth. Our glorious kingdoms were cast down by the great darkness. Then I reasoned with myself, saying, behold, when we were in light, Yahuwah's voice spoke to us. When the darkness came, the voice no longer came. We sat in the diva in the altar circle, praying for light from the Father, but it did not come. And I said, we need the voice in darkness even more than in light. For 100 years, we did not see the light of the voice, nor hear the voice speak. You have said you heard in your soul, who is there in heaven or earth that cannot say as much? In my soul, I no longer believe there is an all person. So this is the false God, Ahura, Cetus. He's saying, I no longer believe in the Creator, the all person, the all highest. There are great gods 1,000 times greater than I, but that is all. Yes, some of those great gods may have cast the YAH'KI upon us, but that is not my concern. There is room for you and your people. Here is room for me and my people. Yahuwah, the Creator, Jehovah, spoke to God, saying, do not answer Ahura anymore. Behold, I will interpret him to you. He will eventually persuade angels and mortals that it was he who inspired Zarathustra, one of the first prophets ever out here. But he himself does not foresee this. Permit him, therefore, to go his own way. See, you see, Creator ain't going out here twisting your arm behind your back, making you get down with him. Even if you an angel, they go off. A Lord, they go off. Look what he's telling God is down with him. But he himself do not foresee this. Permit him, therefore, to go his own way. Nor should you take sorrow to your soul because of it. Have I not given, look at this. This is what the Creator is saying. Have I not given to all men? Have I not given to all men from the lowest to the highest, even that which they desire? Yeah, whatever you desire is coming to you. He said, don't be sorrowful for him. This is what he desired. He want his own kingdom. He want his own servants. He want his own rulership. He don't want to acknowledge me. Leave him alone. Leave him alone. See? You got to force nobody to none of that. Leave him alone. Watch. Your own wickedness is going to correct you, Jack. Your own wickedness is going to correct you. Look at this. Have I not given to all men from the lowest to the highest, even that which they desire? Behold, I can use even bad men in the far future. See, so the Creator is ice cold. He like, look, let him be a misfit. Huh? Let him go on over there, smell his own breath, milly mouthing. Let him think he building something. Guess what? In the end, I'm still going to use everything, and it's going to work out to my plan. See that? Ooh, we cooking. Yep. Shout out to the big homie in the building, my brother NehemiYAH in the building. Bless up, King. You know what I mean? That's right. It's his own undoing. And look, that's something neat. That's something we learn as a people now. Right? What you got going on is your own undoing, man. Like it's what you bring on yourself. All right? So all Creator's asking is that you right your wrongs, man. That's it. You spilled it, clean it up. That's it, man. That's it. You spilled it, you clean it up. All right? There are angels with millions of years of experience in the unseen realms, and they still don't comprehend the Most High in his entirety, or the Creator in its entirety. You understand? So we got time. You know what I mean? Just get there and always live to your highest light. meaning do right. Look, you know to do right, man. Do right, right? Whether it's to a complete stranger or somebody you know, right? Yeah, that do sound fire. Young play in this deal. Look at this. Book of Divinity 10 and 17. YAHWH said for a long season, Ahura will strive to walk uprightly. So he like, look, he gonna strive to keep it righteous. You dig? But because he has cut me off, he will also cut himself off in time to come. See, so it started off with good intentions. You know, he had good intentions. But when you cut creator off, you cut yourself off. The creator is the source of all living. How you gonna cut? You know what I mean? That's like the lamp that's plugged into the plug, that's plugged into the socket. You dig? And then trip off this. It's been on all day, and you yank that plug about that socket, right? But the bulb is still hot. So yeah, it's still hot, but it's cooling off. You see? Why? Because it's not plugged into the source anymore. And so that's what the creator is saying. Look, he will strive. Look, it said off. He will also cut himself off in time to come. You see this? But because he has cut me off, he will also cut himself off in time to come. Behold, a mortal man strives for riches honorably. And when he is rich, his riches cut him off from me by the ruin he cast upon his competitors. Yeah, because you got to compete and be a straight up dog to be a Jeff Bezos out there and Elon Musk. So you see how your riches cut you off from the creator by you having to be such a dog and a beast to your competitors in capitalism. You got to treat them like you understand, lower than snail nuts. You got to treat your competitors in business like they're lower than snail nuts. So he's saying, even though your intentions may be good, if you cut me off, you cut yourself off. The same way a rich man will cut himself off from me. You understand? Because in order for him to maintain his riches, he got to cast ruin on his competitors. He got to be evil to another creation of the creator. Look at this. Nor can he extricate himself. Even so will it be with Ahura. His kingdom and his sub-kingdoms and his multitude of officers will cause him to enslave hundreds of millions of demons, drudges, and they would draw him into a vortex from which he cannot escape. Created like, look, he's going to be put in a knot. You know, he started off with good intentions, but when you cut creator off, you cut yourself off. That's what happens. We can learn from that. You know what I mean? It's the book of divinity, my brother Daisy Ben Israel. Right? So when you cut yourself off from the creator, you cut yourself off from the source of living or the source of energy. Same way you got something plugged into an outlet, such as a lamp, right? The lamp been on all day, that bulb been shining all day, right? But as soon as you unplug, right, that lamp from that outlet, guess what? The bulb's still hot. The light off though. And guess what? It's losing energy. That's what happens when you go against the creator. When you go against him, whether you are a man or whether you an angel, false god, no. You're cutting yourself off. Look, even if you got good intentions. All right. So the creator already told you the end of this thing. He gonna be trip about this. He gonna be drawn into a vortex. He gonna be put into a knot. He gonna be infused. All the millions of people he enslaved to try to keep his power. He gonna be in an infused ball of fire, a ball of confusion and torment with all of them. That's the outcome. You see what I'm saying? Ooh, wait. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. All right. Book of Divinity, chapter 10, verse 18. So God answered Ahura no more. All right. Nevertheless, his heart was full of sorrow. Now, when the time of the meeting of Diva came, Diva is the Congress, the body of Congress or angels that make up laws that the creator allowed to do. God foresaw that not more than one half of them would be present, and he feared the questions that might come up. But YAHWH said to him, the creator, YAHWH said to him, do not fear, my son, for even though many more lead you, yet you shall preserve the Diva to the end of this cycle. So it came to pass that YAHWH stilled the tongues of all the gods and lords of the Diva in reference to Ahura. That's the false god that rebelled. He said, don't even talk about him no more. Right? It's like he ain't even exist, even as if they had never known him. And Ahura sent quizzes to different gods and lords. afterward to learn what action the diva had taken in this case. He like, I know they're talking about me. I know they got to decree something. But when he was told that he had not been mentioned, he became angered and swore an oath that he will build the largest of all heavenly kingdoms. So look at that. He's selfish as a mug. He's self-centered. He pissed off that ain't nobody even paying attention to you, man. You little makeshift little deity, you gonna fall. You're gonna be in a knot of confusion with all these millions of slaves you enslave and trying to hold on to this so-called power. You dig? So when he find out, like, okay, I know they talking about me. They're like, nah, you weren't even brought up. Somebody bring you up. Meaning what? You ain't even important. We ain't even tripping off you. You dig? Look at this. So he's like, I'm gonna build something bigger than all them then. Because of the great darkness on heaven and earth, God sent hope and promise into all the kingdoms, urging his lords and his sub-gods to maintain faith, not only within themselves, but also within the hearts of their respective inhabitants. Yeah. Now, from the time of the succession of Ahura to the next dam will be 300 years. So we got 300 years until some type of transition can happen, until light comes back. Remember, they in the regions of darkness. You understand? They in darkness right now. But you got 300 more years of this Ahura talking crazy. You understand? Before some type of light can shine. Look at this right here. And God knew this, though the multitudes in heaven and earth did not. And God commanded great recreations and extensive labors in order to prevent further dismemberment. But in the course of 100 years, many were carried away by the extravagant stories told about Ahura's kingdoms, being places of great delight and of ease and idleness. So you got all type of rebellion and succession going on. You see what I'm saying? Look at this. Ahura's Lord said to him, you shall adorn your kingdom and your throne and your capital. Sea Tusk. So he named the whole kingdom after him. Sea Tusk shall be the largest and most ornamental of all places in the universe. Look at this. And our sub-kingdom shall be places of great delight. And Ahura was persuaded, and so began his self-glorification, and his lords with him. So you talking about self-aggrandizement, self-glorification, everything about self and me and my and I. Y'all, that's Satan. See, the creator is all about selfless, doing works for others, raising others up. You know what I mean? That's what he about. He ain't about being selfish and you know what I mean, holding everything to himself. No, it's all about what I give you, you share, and help raise up the next man, woman, and child. That's what that's about. You see that? Now watch this right here. This book of Divinity, chapter 10, verse 22. And in another 100 years, Ahura had withdrawn and annexed to him the following provinces in heaven, along with their sub-gods. Etc with 70 million souls. Dang. Hawak with 100 million souls. Hen with 20 million souls. The Nayoto with 80 million souls. Erafrovich with 190 million souls. The whole kingdom of Gur-Akshi, 600 million souls. The whole kingdom of Sufwa. The whole kingdom of Sufwa. The whole kingdom of Sufwa with 800 million souls. And all of these confederated in the lower heavens, making the kingdom of Cetus the central kingdom, with Ahura as master in chief. Look at this. There's some rebellion going on. This reduced the diva to 7 members, but these remained faithful. And God kept up the standard of resurrection for 100 years more. And then Yahuwah sent the region of Dan to heaven and earth. And the most high heavenly host descended in fire ships and took God and his harvest up to Yahuwah. And with all the misfortune that befell God and his lords, there were nevertheless 6 billion brides and bridegrooms to Yahuwah raised up to the higher heavens. So the God that told him, chill on out, you good. And trip off this. The lords and sub-gods and all those who rebelled with Ahura, remember, they already had the grades good enough to raise up. All they had to do was wait a couple hundred more years. And they would have been into Etheria in the highest heavens. You see, it's like clockwork with the creator. Every few hundred years, 200 years, 300 years, 400 years, 500 years, 600 years, he got everything mapped out to where there's a harvest. You know what I mean? And all these gods had to do that rebelled and revolted with Ahura was just wait and have patience. And guess what? They would have received their crowns. They would have received their inheritance. So that's something for us, y'all. We need patience. You know what I mean? We need patience to deal with our people. Period. You understand? These cats missed emancipation. They missed ascension. They missed their inheritance because they lack patience. You know what I mean? Straight up, they lack patience, man. That is crazy. Now look at this. And those 6 billion of them got emancipated. Now when the Ethereal host came for the resurrection, knowing the darkness that was upon the lower heaven and earth, they sent Otivons, spaceships, chariots, with heralds and trumpeters around the earth, proclaiming the resurrection at hand, and asking all who choose to go to Meru and Haredi. And the word was whispered throughout the whole kingdom. What you mean? A resurrection is coming. I thought this was the all highest. And the word was whispered throughout the whole kingdom. What? Then in truth, there must be higher heavens than this. Alas, had we been faithful till now, we would have been brides and bridegrooms. Look at that. So strong was this disaffection for Ahura that 5 of his lords broke membership and reaffiliated with God and his kingdoms. And thus matters stood when God's successor came to the throne. Oh, wait, they realized, like, hold on, Jack. There are higher heavens. And had we been faithful, guess what? We could have resurrected with this 6 billion host right here, man. Oh, we've been duped. Huh? Y'all see this? Man, if y'all getting some understanding so far, give me an 8 up in the chat. Y'all know we ain't trying to lose nobody. Bless up, man. Bless up. For y'all to just coming in, we reading our speed, Sky Earth Spirit. We reading the book of Divinity. We just finished chapter 10. We in chapter 11. The name of the class is The Vanity and Humiliation of a False God. All right? That's just what it is. And from the story, look, regardless if you believe the stories in full or not, you just take the jewels about them. You know what I mean? You can learn from that. You can learn to be patient, can't you? You can learn not to be self-centered. You can learn to stay down with the creator in his program, right? You can learn to stay down with the teachings of Messiah, because Messiah taught the higher light from the creator himself, right? Patience is needed. They missed it. They straight missed the, you know what I mean, straight resurrection or the ascension to the higher heavens. That happens every so few hundred years. It happens, you know what I mean? But it happens from the heavens. It did. Oh, wait. Oh, wait. I see y'all see the 8s in the bill. Let's get into chapter 11. Let's get into chapter 11. Bless up, bless up, bless up. All right, chapter 11, book of Divinity. The next dam was 500 years. So they missed that one. So until the next period of light came, they would have to wait 500 years more. You see that? The next dam was 500 years, and God and his heavenly kingdoms prospered under Yahuwah, Yahweh, Yahweh, Jehovah. However you know, if you quibbling over names, it's you. I don't do that no more. It's all about the jewels I can pull up out of and apply to my life. So I don't really get into pronunciation. You know, if that's the case, ain't none of us worthy to make nothing, because all of us talk with some type of Mississippi twang on us, or the California proper speech. You dig? Or you know, if you down in DC, you over there like, hold on, Slim. Now everybody talk different, and you know what I mean, and got their own vernacular. So it ain't really about pronunciation, right? It's about the righteous work you can do for others. That's what it's about. Let's get into chapter 11. All right. Chapter 11. Shout out to the haters, jaw jackers and naysayers. Yeah, we love y'all too. Bless up. The next day was 500 years, and God and his heavenly kingdoms prospered under Yahuwah. But as to the Lord's kingdoms on earth and mortal kingdoms and empires, not much light was manifested in them. For Ahura had falsely taken and was known by the name Ahura Mazda. Huh? So you'll hear that name when you do some research today. You say, oh, that's the god of the Persians and all that. And you heard like, or Mazda or Ahura and all that. And you thinking like, all right, well, yeah, that's the false god. But you're not realizing it was a false lord that used to be down with the creator Yahuwah that took on the name of Ahura Mazda. You see that? And then establish his own body of notes and his own kingdoms and all that. That's what you're getting when you're Google HeRBAL thing. You see God of the Persians and all that. It's talking about this nigga right here, C-Tusk. It ain't talking about a son of the Most High that holds a certain title that eventually was corrupted on down the line. It ain't talking about that. You know what I mean? Just like a false God can appear in the name of Yahuwah, Jehovah, Yahweh. A false God can appear in any name. All right, you need to listen to the instruction to know if that's the creator. That if either that's a messenger of the creator or a messenger of Satan. The only way you're gonna know is by the instructions they telling you. Just telling you is the messenger telling you, behold, now is the time for you to prove yourself to me. Go kill a whole bunch of white folk and cut off their ears. That ain't the creator at all. You did. He may come in the name of the creator and all that, but what he's telling you to do is, you know what I mean, opposite of his character. All right. So when you hear these things, don't get so your panties in a bunch. Like, see, y'all over there dealing with the false gods. You don't even know the history in what we're talking about. We're talking about false gods that took on the names of these sons and daughters of the creator who, when they were called upon to do a work, they did it. It's just thousands of years later, false gods that take on their names and, you know what I mean, kick back up and start their own program. And the reason they do that, the reason the false gods assume a name that mortals are already calling on, so they don't have to work for the next 100 or 200 years to establish their name. So they'll take on the name of a son or daughter of the creator who already had came and did their work and just destroy that name themselves. You see that? That's what's happening there. All right, that's what's happening. All right, all right, let's work. For who had falsely taken and was known by the name of HeRBAL established lords to rule over mortals. And these lords were in direct opposition to God's lords. For the latter, God's lords, remember, Lord and God are just titles that are on angels, okay? And angels were one time men on this earth or a physical world. All right, Lord, if an angel has a title of Lord, that's Lord in God. God is another title, all right? So it says, for the latter, God's lords taught the higher heavens and the all-person Yahuwah or HeRBAL. HeRBAL is another name for Yahuwah or Yahuwah. All right, just in different localities of the earth, they call the creator different things. To prove there's not a false God, though, is to trip off what are the instructions. All right, everybody that come teaching the higher light of the creator teach about what? The higher heavens. The evidence of the all person, the creator, a certainty in the all person or the creator, Yahuwah or HeRBAL, according to the language of mortals. All right, but Ahura's lords taught only of one heavenly kingdom, which was Ahura's, called C-Tusk, the all holy highest heaven. Look at that. See, so the lords of true God talk about the creator, the higher heavens. You understand? And all that. But the false gods say, no, there's only one kingdom you're going to, and that's the all highest. Ooh-wee. Sound familiar? Sound familiar? Right? Look at this. It says, for the latter taught the higher heavens. Who teaching that? Or is it just we gonna be on earth? Look at this. For the latter taught the higher heavens and the all person, Yahuwah or HeRBAL, according to the language of mortals. But Ahura, the false god, lords, taught only one heavenly kingdom. One, which was Ahura's, called C-Tusk, the all holy highest heaven. God's lords inspired mortals to everlasting resurrection. So to the milly-mouth Negroes who think that we don't believe in resurrection anymore or reincarnation, you can go ahead and scratch that off your bucket list. We believe not just resurrection, but everlasting resurrection. It never ends. The creator is still creating. Yes, the universe is expanding. Any astrophysicist will tell you that. The creator never stopped creating, ever. All right? Look at this right here. So God's lords inspire mortals to everlasting resurrection. Ahura's lords inspire mortals to Ahura's kingdom, and they're the end. And since mortals had built temples for their priests, who are called HERBAL, who are gifted with suis, the ability to hear spirits, the spirits congregated in the temples and often appeared in sarges, meaning they manifested and looked as if they were actual physical men, teaching openly their different doctrines. And the Ashars, the guardian angels that labeled for Ahura, extolled the glory and the delight of Sea-Tusk and the wonderful majesty and power of Ahura. But the guardian angels of God's host inspired and taught of the Great Spirit, unapproachable. See? And if you being inspired and hearing these things either way, now you can gauge it. You can be like, oh no, that's from the false gods. One kingdom, no higher than that. That's it. It's over. It did. Or we talking about everlasting resurrection, the higher heavens, the creator, the all light, the ever present. Right? You can tell by the doctrine, like who the angel is working for. You can tell by the inspiration who the angel is working for. How are you being moved and led? That's either the angel that's working for the creator or the adversary or the false gods. Look at it. For 500 years, God's hosts were confronted with this opposition. And it came to pass that mortals, especially in India, were divided into two great classes of worshipers. And just before God's successor came into dominion, he propounded the matter in Deva, upon which all the members spoke at great length afterward, Dev decreed. Whatever is worship, y'all listen to this. This is Book of Divinity 11 and 5. Look at this. Whatever is worshipped, having comprehensible form or figure, is an idol. Do y'all hear this? A lot of us think that we're not into idolatry still, but we are. You know what I mean? We are. Look at this right here. Look at that. Whatever is worship having comprehensible form or figure is an idol. He who worships an idol, whether of stone or wood, or whether it is a man or an angel, sins against the Creator. Where we at? This was given to all of God's lords and by them to the guardian angels and commanded to be taught to mortals by inspiration and otherwise. So while you on your everyday moving or even while you sleep, your guardian angels are inspiring you, whispering to you. That lets you know what an idol is and what idolatry is. Right? Whatever is worship having comprehensible form or figure is an idol, period. Whether it's stone, wood, man, or angels. That's the case, you sin against the Creator. Ooh, that's gonna make a lot. I know that made a few mumble mouth Negroes spill their coffee, but you be all right. That was straightforward right there, boy. That hit like steel. That hit like steel right there, boy. Shout out to my brother Scorn Black Man Podcast. He'll top in the building. Bless up, King. Abundant blessings while you're on your travels. All right. So if you understand that whatever is worship that have comprehensible form, wood, stone, idol, and angel, and that you sin against your maker or the Creator if you worship and such, give me a 7 up in the chat. Let me see if y'all paying attention. Whatever is worship having comprehensible form or figure is an idol. Period. Period. He who worships an idol, whether of stone or wood, or whether it is a man or an angel, sins against the Creator. You need to know that. You need to know that. All right? Your allegiance and your devotion is to the Creator. Okay? We got great master teachers like YHWH'S who taught the ways of the Creator. But Yahshua was never to be worshipped. You're supposed to follow his teachings. That's it. You're supposed to follow his teachings. He was never to be worshipped. That's when the religion comes into play. And can we find scriptures in the Bible that say he was worshipped? Absolutely. Absolutely. I ain't saying you ain't reading it. I'm saying it's not right and exact. It's not right and exact. You understand? That's what I'm saying. And when you get into Nazarene and singing literature, it's the same thing. Like, don't worship me. You understand? No, worship our Father who art in heaven. You see what I'm saying? So I know that, make a lot of folks mad or reprehensible, but that right there is something that needs to be understood, right? We sin against the Creator if we are worshiping anything in comprehensible form or figure, right? Whether it's wood, stone, right, man or angel. All right? You see? So we got to get out the religion. I'm into spirituality. I'm into all that. I'm into the, doing things right and exact according to the laws of the Creator or the higher laws of the Most High. I'm with all that. You understand? The religion creeps in though. We all know texts have been tampered with, men have touched. That's why you don't get trapped and bound into nothing. All right, whatever you read, take what you can about it and apply it to your life to be better. Be a better son or daughter of the Most High. But never get stuck or bound to one book. Never. You know what I mean? No, every brother or sister is a learner of the Creator in their own way. You know what I mean? Get to it. If you know what's right, do that. Do that. All right? So we need to know that right there. That's something that must be understood. All right? Whether man, angel, wood, or stone, in comprehensible form, they are not to be worshipped. You did? But that just made the things a whole lot easier. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, because he did say our Father when they asked him to pray. Okay, he did say there is none good but one. He did say that. You know what I mean? So things start making more and more sense. All right, well, I ain't got to, try to explain this away to make it seem like it's saying something that it ain't saying. All right? That right there was easy to understand. Whatever is worshipped, having comprehensible form or figure, is an idol. He who worships an idol, whether of stone or wood, or whether it is a man or an angel, sins against the Creator. Period. All right, so now we know better, right? All right, that's good. We know better, we do better. That's what's up. Verse 6, 11 to 6. When the time of Dan came, there were 7 billion brides and bridegrooms raised up to Yahweh's emancipated worlds. That's powerful, y'all. There's worlds out here. What you mean, dude? Like, look, I always thought that it was more than just the earth out here. Like, y'all think it's just us. And all of this is just, it's just man. Nah. There's worlds out here, man. Worlds. Countless of worlds. All right? Countless of worlds without number. Your Creator never stopped creating. You'll never catch him. You did. All we doing is striving to become one with him. But, the more you strive and the more you get closer and closer, you be like, man, I ain't never going to be able to understand him, understand Creator in Creator's entirety. Because he got an infinite head start on you. He always was, always is, always shall be. But the mercy and glory of the Most High is that, look, there are emancipated worlds waiting on you. Rise in the grades, man. So, hey, even with our loved ones who have recently passed, may the Creator bless their memory, and may they witness everything the Creator has for them, man. All the Creator's creation in his emancipated heavens and all that. May you witness all that. You see what I'm saying? It just makes more sense. All right, now let's get back to it. Verse right here. It says right here, and the succeeding God and lords came into dominion under more favorable auspices, but which were not to continue long. Good conditions or favorable signs. And y'all notice how every couple hundred years, God and his lords in them move out the way or rise up higher, and then the next gods and lords and goddesses and lords, they take, dominion. Yeah, so when we be like, peace to the gods and all that, that's what you will become in time to come if you choose to be. You dig? But that's a serious title to hold. You know what I mean? Or we say salute to the goddesses. You know what I mean? That's a serious title to hold right there. You dig? Because you're responsible for every spirit that is in earth and that is in the heavens surrounding the earth. That's why God was hollering at the Horror, like, look, don't do that. And I'm responsible for you. You do that. What report am I going to send to Etheria if you down here clowning? I'm responsible for you. See? Look at this. So notice how God never sits on the throne forever. It's only for a few hundred years, and then he moves out the way. He raises up, and another God and his, cabinet, if you want to call it that, comes and takes dominion. You dig? And they all are ruling under the authority of the Creator, Yahuwah. And these gods and goddesses are never worshipped. Right? Any spirit that comes to you, tell you bow, you stand before your maker, and you get your kneecaps dusty, your kneecaps start knocking like a naked newborn because you see this high-raised, so-called being, highly advanced being, but what they saying to you don't match up with the character of the Creator. You know what I mean? You got to question that. No, I was told not to kill. Prove to me you are who you say you are. Try the spirit, right? Look at this. Book of Divinity 11:7. The diva had extended to 14 members, and God's laws had succeeded in securing kingdoms in the principal parts of Asia, Japheth, Venue, India, and Arabinia, Northeast Africa. On the other hand, the emissaries of Ahura, the false, had been most active in extending the kingdom of their idol. Yeah, because Ahura was a one-time man, y'all. He's an idol, all right? Ahura was most cunning with the last divine act. Instead of interdicting it, he altered it. So it read as follows. Whatever is worshipped having comprehensible form or figure is an idol. He who worships an idol, whether it is man made of stone or wood, or whether it is a man or an angel, sins against the All-Highest, who is personated in Ahura Mazda, the holy begotten son of all created creations. Do y'all hear this? So he ratifies the law that the angels put down, the law of idolatry, right? And throw himself up in there. He calls himself the holy begotten son, the holy begotten son of all created creations. Well, how are you a son begotten and you the all highest? That's the question I would ask. How is you claiming to be the all highest, but you are son begotten? How does that work? You know what I mean? How does that work? Look at this right here. And next, Ahura decided to found a second heaven, decreeing to his emissaries as follows. Behold, HERBAL, the heavenly region above the lands of Hellas, that's Greece. There I will build a new heaven, greater than all other heavens, except Cetus. And when HERBAL is well founded, I will people it with many millions of mighty angels, gods and lords. My host shall descend to the physical earth, to the lands of Persia and Arabinia, and they shall obsess mortals day and night, and inspire them to go to Greece or Hellas, or they shall build great cities and kingdoms devoted to me and my host. So that's letting you know the whole everything that Greece, the Greeks and the Romans are famous for, that ain't nothing but Persian and Egyptian art and architecture. That ain't nothing but Persian and Egyptian architecture and artwork and all that. You did? Look at this. Look at this. And when these things are fulfilled, behold, I will send my host to Europe, and there also build heavenly kingdoms and mortal kingdoms. And when they are established, behold, I will send my host in other countries, one after another, until my heavenly kingdoms embrace all places, and to all the earth is mine. This is this false little makeshift deity called Ahura or Cetus. For I will be God over all, and you who labor with me shall be my lords and sub-gods forever. And my kingdoms and your kingdoms shall be bestowed with glories and ornaments like never before. And the gods of other worlds shall not be permitted to come against me or mine to carry away my people. They shall no longer flatter them, calling them brides and bridegrooms to Yahuwah, a thing none can see nor comprehend. And Ahura and his emissaries went to work to carry out these decrees, and in 200 years, they inspired the Persians and the Arabians to immigrate by tens of thousands to the land of Greece. So, you know, we read about the black skin or the dark skinned Greeks in history. Got pictures of them. Look at this. This is going into the history of how all that happened. Look at this. Which was inhabited by drunks and wanderers full of wickedness. A drunk is somebody that's a mortal, you know what I mean? But they just below the grade. They a demon in the flesh. You know how these drill music Negroes talk about they be on demon time? They drunks. All the Chicago drill rapping and all that. King Von, look, what's the cat name? Lil Durk and all them. You know what I mean? FBG, you know, all them cats. Yeah, they're drunks. They're drunks. They are men who are led by these unclean demons, these unclean spirits who are below the grades. And it's just simply about destruction and killing. That's all it's about. All right. Look at this. It says, Ahura inspired his immigrants to fall upon the native drunks and destroy them, by which came to pass that which that Yahuwah spoke of Maru, saying, those who cannot be raised by persuasion may be aroused by less scrupulous matters, or less scrupulous masters. And while Ahura's host was slaying the drunks of Greece by tens of thousands, God's heavenly hosts were receiving their spirits and conducting them away to other atmospheric regions. So you see, the Creator and those that's down with him are still being merciful, because all these unclean, all these low graded individuals are being slaughtered by the army of this false God. And true God still sends what? His host to capture those spirits and take care of those spirits when they cross over. You see? So even though they killing by the tens of thousands of all these so-called drugs, right? Guess what? Ahura's kingdom ain't receiving them. His kingdom ain't receiving none of them. God, heavenly hosts were receiving their spirits and conducted them away to other atmospheric regions. These then were the first divisions of mortals on earth at this time. First, the Ions, who were the original Faithists, right? Those are our short albinos, pick-me-toi, right? And they all in, you know, they in every nation and culture. That's why albinism is something that is common everywhere, on every continent. Every continent. You know what I mean? Somebody will show a strain of being an albino or albinism. It comes right out. And look, on every continent and every ethnicity, they have albinos. All right. First, the Ions, who were the original Faithists, and they were capable of prophecies and miracles to such an extent that all other people called them the sacred people. Nor did the great warriors of other nations and peoples molest them. The Ions lived secluded and separate from all other people. Nevertheless, they were the seed of everlasting life on the earth and the foundation for raising up prophets and seers for other peoples. Even as Zarathustra's mother was of the Ions, so was it with all men and women born into the world having suis and sarges. Suis is the ability to hear the spirits. All right, sarges is the ability for the spirits to manifest and rap to you as if they are mortals. Look at this. For being near Yahuwah, they had faith in him and him only. Second race, equally ancient, was the Druks, the barbarian hordes, incapable of inspiration, except for their stomach's sake. And though they were told 1,000 times, behold, you have a spiritual body, they neither understood nor occurred and forgot it a moment later. And though it was said to them, behold, there is a great spirit, they did not hear, nor understand, nor heeded the words. The third race was the Iowans, born between the Ions and the Druks. To this race, it is in its early days, a commandment was given by God not to marry with the Druks. And they had maintained that law among themselves by the sign of the circumcision. The following then was the first beginning of persecution against Faithists in Yahuwah. When Ahura usurped his heavenly kingdom and appointed guardian angels over mortals, he was determined to leave nothing undone in order to overthrow the doctrine of Jehovah, the all-person. So he decreed as follows. Since by the mark of the circumcision they have pride in being Faithists, I will not have circumcision. After the third generation, or 100 years, whoever has this mark upon him is my enemy. He shall be pursued, and this is what a false God is saying. He shall be pursued, and no prophet shall fall to his lot. Do not permit little children to be maimed for my sake. Rather, let them be circumcised in heart. And Ahura put no restriction upon his mortal followers, marrying. And so it came to pass that those Druks, not slain in Greece or Hellas, married with the worshippers of Ahura. And about this same period of time, Yahuwah brought the earth into a light region for 200 years. And when the Diva was in session, Yahuwah's voice spoke to Div, saying, and Div is the title of the God who's presiding over the body of angels, or the Diva, saying, do not let my sons be cast down because of the sins of Ahura. Rather be wise and appropriate from his wickedness that which will be good in the end. For as it was not lawful for my people to marry with the Druks, behold, Ahura has made a law on his own account against circumcision. And it shall come to pass that by their Ahura and his cohort sins, even Druk shall be raised up to learn of me and my kingdom. Created like, look, let Ahura, whatever he think he's doing, he's working against himself. In the end, as hard as he's going to destroy Yahuwah out the earth, guess what? Even Druk shall be raised up to learn of me and my kingdoms. So keep at it. That's why we say shout out to the haters, jackers, and naysayers all the time. Because in the end, guess what? Whatever Creator decreed will be done. It will be done. You know what I mean? Shout out to the haters, y'all jackers and naysayers. Yeah, we love y'all too. Bless up. Look at this right here, y'all. Chapter 11, verse 8, Book of Divinity. And it came to pass that a fourth race rose up in the world, and it was mongrel, being dark and short and less noble. The Iowans were red and brown and tall and majestic. So Abram was an Iowan. You know what I mean? Yahshua, Moses, Zarathustra, a lot of them were Iowans. Iowans, all right? Red and brown, tall and majestic. The Ions, small, white and yellow. Those are your albinos, all right? Short little people. And Yahuwah put these marks upon his people so that the races could be read in thousands of years. Yeah, so like on down the line, you could be like, oh, okay, that makes sense. All right. You can see the traces of all these races, you know what I mean, in the earth. In the earth. You dig? So what one God put out there for evil, the creator's allowing things to happen to get done that eventually will work for his purpose. Look at this. Ahura perceived this. One of his lords said to him, behold, the marks of Suis are written. Then Ahura sought to disprove Yahuwah in this. He said, behold, there are two senses to all men, the S and the corporate, the spiritual and the physical. One is in abeyance, the other acts. This is Suis. Call together your companions and find a remedy. For I will prove all things in heaven and earth. So Ahura is now trying to raise up a prophet, because all the prophets, you understand, after the masters of generations, for generations, the masters of generations are called Louis, and for generations they inspire certain men and women to get together to bring forth children, you understand, capable of hearing the light, capable of hearing spirits, capable of receiving the higher law. All right, so the creator already has angels called Louis who are masters of generations. They are spiritual geneticists who inspire men and women to get together and have children. So these children will rise up and be able to hear the higher light of the creator. All right. So being that the creator already has this going on in his system, who would a false god got to do this? Like, all right, you a false god, you got your kingdoms and all that, but none of the people that worship you have the ability of suis, of hearing spirits, of hearing the message. None of them do. So now he has to produce mortals. He has to produce mortals who have the ability to prophesy, have the ability to hear the voice of the creator, have the ability to converse with spirits and hear the higher light. He got this rough job of doing this. Now remember, Ahura is only a lord. He ain't even no high raised God. He only a lord. Look at this. Look at this right here. For I will prove, this is what he said, this is Suis. Call together your companions and find a remedy, for I will prove all things in heaven and earth. For 50 years, Ahura and his host tried by other means to have a great prophet and seer born into the world, but failed. Ahura said, I know the way of the Louis. They decoyed the iron men to go with the Iowan damsels. Now, this makes sense. Ahura should know the way of Louis because he was raised up to a lord. And by the time you complete your education as a lord, you'd already been an apprentice Louis. You already been an apprentice Louis and a Louis, meaning you already have the education on how to, you understand, inspire mortals to come together to have certain type of children so they can hear this. So he knows that, right? Ahura said, I know the way of the Louis. They decoy the iron men to go with the Iowan damsels, but I have sworn there is no Yahuwah. How then can I go to the sacred people? And after all, such a prophet might prove treacherous to my kingdom. So Ahura commanded his emissaries to weigh the matter for another 50 years and then to solve the problem. But guess what? Time is running out. Time is running out on his little makeshift plan and his makeshift kingdom. Hundreds of years keep passing. 50 years here, 50 years here, 500 years here, 300 years there. How much time do this cat think he got? I mean, how much time do we think he got? Look at this. And then to solve the problem. So Ahura's emissaries inspired thousands of experiments to be made by which a prophet or seer could be made among the mongrels. And Yahuwah allowed them to discover that by pressing down the front brain of infants, the cone head, smash the forehead in. Pressing down the front brain of infants, they could be made capable of suis. Look at this. And infants were strapped on boards, and another board strapped on the forehead to press the head flat. They straight had the infants' heads in a vice, man. Press that deal flat. And infants were strapped on boards, and another board strapped to the forehead to press the head flat. And every day the headboard was restrapped tighter than the day before, until the forehead, which holds the corporeal or the physical judgment, was pressed flat, and the judgment of the brain driven up into light, perceiving regions at the top of the head. So they smashed that skull in and it forced the brain, you know what I mean, upward. And that's how, through treachery, that's how they were allowed to, you know what I mean, bring forth a prophet. Look at this. Ahura thus raised up prophets and seers, and they were willing instruments in his hands. And he sent tens of thousands of angels into all the divisions of the earth, teaching this to mortals, thus laying down the foundation for his grand scheme of reducing heaven and earth into his own kingdoms. Yahuwah spoke in the deep, saying, permit even this, the drunks will heed what one of their own people says as a sure, more than if the same thing was said 100 times over by an iron. Ooh, wait. Ooh, wait. Chapter 12, Book of Divinity. If y'all getting some understanding so far, give me up. 5 up in the chat. Bless up, bless up. Good to see y'all in the building. Bless up. We working. We working. We gonna read through this. Whatever we don't get done today, we're going to come back in the next day, tomorrow, the day after that, which will be Friday, and we're going to show eventually this cat kingdom fell. It fell, and it fell hard too, Jack. It fell hard. It did. And then we're going to go into the deliverance, like what all the Creator had to do and who all he had to send to restore all that, to get them back together, and the judgment. You know what I mean? Once you get delivered out of that hell and that torment, you got a judgment you got to go deal with. Yeah. Yeah. One of the false gods, one of his judgments is, as long as Lord and God worship in the earth, you will never raise to witness the emancipated heavens of the Creator. Till then, you got to work against your own doctrine. One of the false gods, little chili monk. Yeah. And I knew Hassaj, him. Yeah, his judgment is once his kingdom fell and all his servants jumped him and he found himself balled up in an infused knot and torment and all that. When he finally was delivered, y'all, and his chaotic spirit restored, and he came before a true God, the Son of the Creator, to receive his judgment. His judgment was, as long as Lord and God is worshipped in this earth, you understand? You will not be able to raise up and witness the emancipated worlds of the Creator. You got to work against everything you put out. What you spilled, you got to clean that up. The Creator's justice. That makes sense. You see what I'm saying? And they be in torment, few hundred years, 70 years, but going through all out hell, man. You see, so it's always a way to learn and get it right when dealing with the Most High. Always, even after you cross over. You understand? You just don't want to be bound in none of these situations like this, man. You don't want to be bound in no hell knot, boy. You dig? You don't want to be bound in that. All right? It just is what it is. It is what it is. All right? Who we got up in the chat? Let me look at the chat real quick. We looking good so far. I see y'all in the building. Bless up, Nazarene and Sing. Faith is bless up. Bless up, King Kong Buddha, my beloved brother. Bless up, King. Bless up. AJ Yahuda, Thrasher in the building, my beloved brother. Bless up, King. What's the word? You know what I mean? Cal P. Cosmine in the building. Cosmine to the faithers, man. Blessings. I see y'all. All right, guess we're going to keep it going. Let's keep reading for a little taste. Keep reading for a little taste. All right. Chapter 12, Book of Divinity, verse 1. The next resurrection was 6 billion souls. Look at this. So the Creator steady harvesting. You know what I mean? He always got something for you. You got to stop being a scumbag, a misfit. Stop it. And just sincerely do your best and be your best, man. Sincerely look out for people. Stop trying to get over and scheme and look, stop all that. Just be a real, sincere, lovable brother or sister that sincerely care for the creation of the Most High, the Creator, Yahuwah. You dig? We all got things we working on. We all got vices. We all got all types. So ain't none of us over here claiming we better than nobody. I ain't better than you because I don't chew on animal sandwiches anymore. I don't claim that. You understand? I just know enough to let you know, like, look, you're poisoning your blood and you're inflaming yourself. Eventually, you're going to get sick with that. And when you do, come holler. Come holler. We got remedy for you. And guess what we're going to tell you? You got to stop chewing on them animal sandwiches. Yeah. Dig? So it ain't nothing but love over this way, right? Everybody got to learn about Creator at their own pace. And you know what I mean? At their own or in their own way. Period, point blank. The next resurrection was 6 billion souls, and God and his lords and the sub-gods that maintained the devil and maintained all the orders of heaven and the divisions and kingdoms, except those that had confederated with Ahura and his kingdoms. And God and his lords have preserved their own colleges. Look at this. You mean to tell me there are colleges in the heavens? Why wouldn't it be? Don't you call college today university? So why wouldn't you graduate to the universe once you cross over in spirit? Why wouldn't there be colleges, hospitals, nurseries, factories, schools? I mean, how do the chariots get built? How do the streets of gold get paved? Who's doing it? And how do they learn the skill to do it? You see what I'm saying? Who's building the spaceships and the fire ships? Who's building up the thrones that God sit on and the heavenly kingdoms and all that? Who's doing all that? And where do they learn to do this at? You see? Certainly not on the earth. Yeah. There's education continues after you die. You understand? You become more advanced, more highly trained. You understand? And the Creator call on you to do a marvelous work. All right? Whether you male or female, whether you a god or a goddess. Because we all sons and daughters of the Most High. All right? So yes, there are colleges, schools. In fact, we talking about a kingdom. What kind of kingdom you talking about? Ain't America a physical kingdom? Ain't there schools, factories, hospitals, nurseries? As above, so below, right? Look at this. Look at this. As well as their standard in the temples with mortals. And as to mortals who remain faithless, that is the Alwyn race, preserved in purity, God and his lords and ashores held command over them for the glory of Yahuwah. But over the mongrels who are multiplying fast on the earth, Ahura and his lords and ashores held command. But alas, for the grade of Ahura's host in heaven, in less than 1,000 years. Look what this false god did. All this to hold on to his power. Look what he did. In less than 1,000 years, he had abolished his colleges and schools, except what pertained to acquiring knowledge of the earth and atmosphere. He did not teach his people to look higher for other worlds. And in this, he began the work that was later to be his own downfall. He was working against himself. He was working against himself. Working against himself. He did not teach his people. Look, he did not teach his people to look higher for other worlds. Why wouldn't you? Whatever philosophy you in, they like, man, it's just the earth. As high as we going. Y'all, that's a doctrine of a false god. Right? There are infinite worlds out here. What are you talking about? Worlds without number. What is you talking about? So if the doctrine is just, it's just the earth and that's it, and the highest heaven really gonna be in Jerusalem. Nah. We ain't gonna get duped into that. Now that don't even make sense. That don't even make sense. You see, look at this right here. So he started his own downfall. His own downfall started because he didn't teach people to look higher for other worlds. And in this, he began the work that was later to be his own downfall. Boy, Creator is cold. Good night. Look at this. 12:3. Yahweh said, whoever fails, look at this. Look at this. And we can see this in real time, y'all. We can see this in real time. All right, look at this. It says, whoever fails, Yahuwah has said, whoever fails to provide a philosophy for the endless acquisition, the endless acquiring of knowledge, dams up the running waters I have made. Do y'all hear this? If your philosophy is not about the endless acquiring of knowledge, then you damming up the running waters that the Creator made. You're not supposed to be on your A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P. You ain't supposed to be on that for the rest of your life. What is you talking about? You ain't on tracing your letters with the dots and all that for the rest of your life, tracing your numbers. Got to put your name tag on your clothes and your backpack and all that. You ain't on, like, you're not in kindergarten for the rest of your life. Eventually, you must advance, right? So whatever spiritual system you are in, if you felt like you didn't hit a brick wall, or you felt like you didn't hit a ceiling, it's because that philosophy you in dams up the running waters that were made by the Creator, period. You're supposed to be challenging people to forever get better, forever acquire knowledge, upward and outward forever. Everlasting resurrection is what we're talking about. Who can fight against that? There ain't nobody that can fight against that. Whoever fails, YHWH has said, whoever fails to provide a philosophy for the endless acquisition of knowledge. So remember, he just destroyed the colleges and all that, right? Dams up the running waters I have made. Let Ahura teach what he will. The time will come when he will be obliged to find an outlet for my created beings. And rather than acknowledge me and my person, he will profess to send souls back into the earth to be what? Reincarnated. Good night. Another false doctrine from a false god. Reincarnation. Reincarnation. Another false doctrine from a false god, a deity that did not want to acknowledge the Creator and his all person. You understand? The boy's a baby. Sippy cup brews. Nah, man, stop that. Stop that. Eventually, you got to grow. Over on your ABCs and 1, 2, 3s. Over here watching Paw Patrol. Well, ask me how I know about Paw Patrol. You know, I got a gang of short legs. I want to watch Paw Patrol. You know what I mean? I want to watch Boss Baby. Man, look, in mental, in mindset, in spirit, man. In spirit, sippy cup status. Sippy cup status. The boy's a baby. Over arguing about what the boy said, where your friends. Sis say thumb suckers. And look at this right here. Look at this. Ahura's heavenly kingdoms numbered more than 6 billion souls, and half of them were little better than drudges. You mean to tell me he got a gang of bodies, he got a gang of numbers in his kingdoms, but they below the grades? They below the grades. Look at this. Little better than drudges, being slaves to certain masters, doing whatever they were told without knowing or desiring to know for that reason, or desiring to know the reason for it. As yet there were 600 years to pass before another dawn of Dan, in which God, his lords, and their people had faith that YHWH's hosts would come from on high to help deliver heaven and earth out of darkness. On the other hand, Ahura, although having been taught the cycles in his early education, right? Because remember, the education he has, he raised up to a lord. So he knows the cycles. He knows the cycles of light and darkness. He knows them. On the other hand, Ahura, although having been taught the cycles in his early education, spread the word abroad in heaven and earth that there were no cycles. That as things are, they had always been and will continue to be. But if you think about it, it would have to be cycles. You got cycles here on earth, don't you? Don't you got seasons? Seasons and cycles? Look at this. So as much as God's host prophesied to come in light, Ahura and his host prophesied that nothing of the kind will come. Ahura, moreover, sent the following order to his lords to be taught in heaven and earth as follows. Am I not he who inspired Zarathustra, the all pure? No, you're not. Did I not speak to him face to face? No, you didn't. Are all created things not my own? No, they're not. Who then knows except me if I will light up the world again? Behold, I am the personation of Ormazd, who was voidance, but now is me, Ahura-Mazda. In me only is life and death and resurrection. Whoever calls Ahura-Mazda is mine and within my keeping. Do not allow your judgment to be warped by prophets who hope for impossible things. Y'all, this is what the false God is saying. Now, in the 80th year of the final Dan, Ahura's many heavenly kingdoms began to be disturbed. Yeah, oh, okay. Yeah, you know, eventually this whole thing gonna fall on your head, boy. Huh? Can't take no pressure. Can't take no pressure. You ain't doing nothing but what? Digging your own grave. And you think you doing something. You think you accomplishing what you think you saying. Huh? Look at this right here. Look at this right here. All right, so now in the 80th year of the final Dan, Ahura's many heavenly kingdoms began to be disturbed by his sub-gods. Oh, his sub-gods' lack of advancement. And so 60 of them congregated together and by messenger appealed to Ahura, saying, so like, look, it's been over 1,000 years, Jack. We ain't even advanced. You know what you promised us in the beginning? Now, don't forget, these sub-gods at one time had grades that were sufficient enough to be brides and bridegrooms, meaning they could have already been delivered up out of here. But they lost patience and went over there with Ahura. So now, even though they know it, like all of them know him. So they should already knew when they revolted and did their thing what was going to happen, because they knew dude ain't no higher than the Lord. All right, now look at this. 60 of them congregated together and by messenger appeared to Ahura, saying, in reverence to you, O you are highest God. Many hundreds of years we have served you, and we have paid you tribute whenever you require it of us. We have helped to adorn your capital, Tusk. We have laid your streets with diamonds and pearls. We have built your mansions with precious stones. And as to your throne, what one of us is here who has not contributed to glorify it before you? Yes, in all ways we have been most loyal and tributary to you. Time to run out, huh? No advancement, because he always has taught there is no higher kingdom. Remember what the Creator said earlier. Him cutting me off, he cut himself off. Him cutting me off, when you cut Creator off, you only cutting yourself off. Same with a plugged up lamp. You yank that cord about that outlet, that bulb may still be hot, but it's cooling off. It's cooling off. You see? All who go against Creator eventually got to come back and holler at him. Everything you thought was popping ain't popping. So now, the cats that revolted with you feeling the pressure like, dang, we tripped. We tripped. You see that? Patience, y'all, is something that is needed amongst all people. All people. Look at this right here. It is right here. Nor are we unmindful of your own wisdom. We remember your arguments of old. Before succeeding from your gods, you said to him, behold, you have long promised we would be raised to more exalted kingdoms. But behold, 200 years have elapsed. Excuse me, say it again. Behold, you have long promised we will be raised to more exalted kingdoms. But behold, 200 years have elapsed, and there is no advancement. This is the argument you use for succeeding from your God's kingdoms. So all they did was throw the very argument he used against God, who was telling him in the beginning, don't do that, Jack. I know you. I'm the one who crowned you. You just a Lord. You can't do none of this. Right? So the argument he used, I served you 200 years and ain't got no advancement. I'm out of here. Now, Ahura sub-gods are doing the same thing. This is the argument you use for succeeding from your God's kingdoms. Behold, we have now served you in your kingdoms more than 1,000 years. Look, Ahura lost patience with 200 years. His sub-gods and all them served him more than 1,000 years. No advancement. We come to you to know how we can now serve you so that you may exalt us in the kingdoms commensurate with our wisdom and power. To this, who replies, saying, most humble and well-meaning lords and sub-gods, why did you not come to me, who? Face to face. That's quite ironic, because that's the very same thing true God told Ahura when he rebelled. You should have came holler at me face to face, boy. What is you doing? I know you. You a little loke. I crowned you Lord. You don't know how to establish a plateau. You can't even move your finger to make it. You can't even move your finger to cast a drought or do nothing. You a Lord. You a little loke. Why you ain't come holler at me face to face? That's what true God asked Ahura. Now, those that revolted with him are complaining to him the same way he complained to true God. And his question is the same thing true God asked him. Why you ain't come holler at me face to face? That's ironic, ain't it? Now, ain't that the pot calling the kettle black? Look at this, man. Oh, wait, check this out. Look at it. Why have you consulted in private? Was not my capital and before my throne the proper place for your argument. Had you suggested any way by which advancement for you was possible, I would have answered your demands. Verse 12. But his lords and sub-gods did not come before him, but sent this answer. As you promised us advancement, provided we served you, so we likewise promised our guardian angels and our marshals and captains. Now they come to us saying, we have served for hundreds of years. Give us preferment. But we have nothing to give. Do not think, O God, that we are unwise or that we hunger and come begging or that diadems, gems, or costly thrones will satisfy us. We know what you have to give. Promises. They like, Jackie, they like, look, we know you. You don't have nothing to give. His whole plan is unraveling. All right? We know what you have to give. Promises. We know every corner of your vast kingdom and that all places are full and that you cannot exalt us. Why then should we have spoken before the throne and see to us? Would not our voices merely breed mischief among your other gods and lords? Rather, let us err in our proceeding, bringing just punishment upon ourselves, than injure you and your kingdoms. Hear us then, O Ahura Mazda. Where does the desire for endless advancement come from, if this heaven is all? They're like, look, we got a desire for endless advancement. And why is that creeping up in us if where you are at is the all or the highest? If little knowledge gives power, why then is great knowledge not desirable? We have destroyed our great colleges, saying you must not go higher than us. Remember, Ahura. This is what Ahura, this is how he got them to come with him. He said, look, you got long training. You're going to be doing this for 1,000 years. But if you come with me now, you can go ahead and raise up at once. Look at this. Verse 14. So we came to you, and we were suddenly puffed up with great pride. Behold now, we look abroad, and the same stars shine upon us. We have not visited them. We do not know how to go so far. The countless Ethereal worlds lay beyond ours. We are told that they are habitable. We do not know. We have no knowledge enabling us to get away from these heavens, except indeed back to the filthy earth. This Ahura replied, it is plain to me you are beside yourselves. This heaven is good enough. If there are higher heavens, let them come or stay. I do not go to them. But in truth, with your present convictions, I will be an unwise God not to grant you dismissal from our kingdoms. Dang. This ended the matter. And the 60 sub-gods then deliberated on their course and finally sent the following address to God in Meru. God is true God, working for the Creator. So now they like, well, look, we got to get back in good graces with the Creator's kingdom and his program. So these are 60 sub-gods who already were students up under the Creator and his program, right? Rolled with Ahura and his promise to be raised up at once. It never happened. They served over 1,000 years. It never happened. Ahura like, yeah, y'all get away from me. I'm dismissing y'all. All right. So now guess what? They like, look, we factionless. We don't got a kingdom. We need to go ahead and get back in good graces with true God. And true God is in Meru. Look what they say. In reverence to you, God of the faithless, in Yahuwah, we have had sub-kingdoms and know our rank is beneath yours. But we are reaching outward and onward. We submit our cause to you. First then, there are 60 of us of the rank of sub-gods, and we hold 700 million slaves or subjects. Disaffection has risen between ourselves and Ahura Master, from whom we are alienated. But whether we shall unite our hosts into a new kingdom of our own or affiliate with some mighty God, that is our question. See, so now they're like, well, look, we got to go ahead and get back in good graces with somebody. You know what I mean? See this? Look at this. So they asking, what should we do? Can we link on with y'all? Do we start our own thing? Or should we affiliate with you? But Ahura's kingdom is falling. We know our rank. All right, it's beneath yours, so we ain't coming to outrank you or nothing like that. We got 700 million slaves. But what should we do? Build up our own or affiliate with you? Somebody got. What preferment can you get us if we turn our slaves over to you? God answered them, saying, brothers, hear me patiently and consider my words. This is the book of Divinity, chapter 12 and 19. See, remember, these are cats that went with the false god, realized he was full of smoke, right? Realized he was BS and say, well, let's get back in good with true God and his kingdom, because he's rocking with the Creator's plan. So guess what? True God answered them back. Brothers, hear me patiently and consider my words. First then, I am not God of the faithless or of any other people, but God of the locality that was assigned to me by the Father through his Son. Nor can you give your subjects to me, for by my service to Creator, I can have nothing, and least of all, my brothers and sisters. That's cold. You see what he's saying? For one, don't call me the God of nobody, right? What I'm doing, I was assigned to do this by the Father through his Son. Nor can you give your subjects to me, because to be a God as I am, I own nothing. All belongs to the Creator. So you can't give me nothing. You can't give me, least of all, my brothers and sisters. So true God is calling the 700 million subjects of these gods his brothers and sisters. He said, I can't have them. No. For by my service to Yahuwah, I can have nothing. And least of all, my brothers and sisters. Moreover, look at this. Moreover, I can give you no preferment. Give me a referral, dog. You know what I mean? I can give you no preferment. I have nothing, neither to give nor to sell. When the Father gives me wisdom and power, I impart them to others. This is cold. Besides, unto you have also learned to know that you have nothing, neither slaves nor jewelry, also desiring nothing except wisdom and strength to impart to others. How can you hope to gain admittance into my places of learning? Ooh, wee. What are we reading her? Do y'all see this? This guy saying, look, until you learn this, you don't got nothing. Right? Y'all all belongs to the Creator. Look at us. We over here stingy. Me, mine, acting like children. Meanwhile, this guy say, look, all I give away is what I get or receive, which is wisdom and power. I don't have nothing to give you or sell you. When the Father gives me wisdom and power, I impart them to others. Besides, until you have also learned to know that you have nothing. See, so we can't let our material possessions, put us up on a pedestal like the false gods. Because when you understand, now this is the creator's world. You understand? You just trying to get a nut in that deal, player. Huh? The animals at the zoo, newsflash, boo-boo. The animals at the zoo don't run nothing. They run around the zoo. They don't run the zoo, though. They run around the zoo. And until we understand, look, we just running around the creator's creation. Ain't none of this ours. None of it. Right? He's saying, how can you even expect to be admitted or to gain admittance into my places of learning? You can't even vibrate on a high level, high vibrational frequency as the angels coming around claiming you own everything. This is mine. Me. Nah, I don't own nothing. I give wisdom and power and I impart that to others. Until you learn the same, you can't even vibrate over this way. But that show you, you know what I mean? When you got the mindset of when I'm straight because of my status, I'm straight because of my material possessions, you ain't nowhere near ready to even enter any type of kingdom that the creator has. Detachment is part of it. You gotta let all that go. That's powerful. I read that, was like, dang, that's cold. I'm gonna keep it real with you. That's cold. You know what I mean? Look at this right here. Verse 21. And lastly, verse 21. And lastly, since you have kingdoms of your own already, raise them up and thus prove to me your just merit. He said, no, you already got your own kingdom. You ain't got to attach to mine. You ain't got to attach to this kingdom. Raise your own kingdom up and prove that you sincere in what you're doing. You got 700 million subjects. Oh, do you? Below the grades, they all drudges. Oh, Jack, you got to raise all 700 million of them up. You got to raise them up to they all have grades that are sufficient enough to be brides and bridegrooms to the creator. That's what you got to do. You revolted, didn't you? You rebelled, didn't you? Look at this, verse 22. Book of Divinity, chapter 12, verse 22. To this, the confederated gods replied, what do you mean? That gods and angels must labor for others rather than themselves forever and receive nothing for it? They like, hold on. Time's out. You telling me that I'm supposed to labor for others and receive nothing in return for it? Yeah. Huh? Yeah. You really want to vibrate high? Guess what? You got to let go of self and work for others. Huh? And stop, beating yourself up because you don't got a whole bunch of possessions. Stop that. Eventually you become bound to them. Become bound to them possessions. You understand? Eventually, you dig, the riches that you accumulate ruin you because you got to ruin your competitor to stay rich. You see? That's right, Enoch, Metatron, McKelzedek. Definitely. See, that's right and exact. You see? They asking, like, what you mean? We got, like, so we do all this and don't get nothing for it? Look at this. Look at the mindset. Look at study the psychology of the angels that's down with the creator. Study psychology of both of them. But trip off how both of them react. Verse 23, Book of Divinity 12 and 23. Look at this. God answered them, even so, except you shall receive an abundance of happiness, and it will endure forever. So he answered them, they like, so that God and angels must labor for others rather than themselves forever and receive nothing for it? God answered them, even so, yes, except you shall receive an abundance of happiness, and it will endure forever. You'll feel good about raising others up. You feel good about being, you understand, that shoulder to lean on, right? That area of comfort. You feel good, you understand, even if it's your last, feeding the homeless and all that, feeding those who are less fortunate, because every angel that's down with the creator, that's how they move. They ain't even tripping off themselves. They're tripping off others. And that's what this true God is saying to the false gods in them who are trying to get back in good graces. He said, God answered them, even so, except you shall receive an abundance of happiness, and it will endure forever. Here the matter ended for 2 whole years. And the sub-gods did not understand the plan of YAHWH'S kingdom, but their kingdoms were out of sorts, having no head, and hundreds of thousands of their subjects were deserting them and returning down to the physical earth, becoming wanderers and drudges. Look at this. Book of Divinity 12 and 24. Look at it. Finally, the sub-gods again appealed to God and Meru, inquiring as follows. Is a God not a God whether he is for another or for himself? Behold, we have helped to build up Ahura. He is a mighty God. If we affiliate with you, we will labor to build you up also. Yes, we will adorn your throne and your great heavenly city. But since we have been sub-gods, we do not desire to enter your service as menials. Yes, buck privates. Yeah, they don't want to be buck privates. You know what I mean? So they were like, look, man, we've been in the ranks. We've been through the education. We just don't want to be no buck privates. You know what I mean? We do not desire to enter your service as menials and servants. What then shall we do? What then shall we do so that both you and ourselves may have honor and glory? Look how God answered. This is cold. This is cold, man. Look at this. This is cold. God answered him saying, you cannot serve me. I have no servants. Do you mean to tell me true God is straight? True God don't even want you to serve him. He's there to help raise you up. So guess what? You can claim your inheritance that the Creator has for you, right? And inspire you to do righteous work for others. So true God is straight telling you, you cannot serve me. I have no servants. Serve Yahweh only. Serve Yahweh only. Serve Yahweh only. What's the problem here? What's so demonic about that? Oh, wait, this is serious here. Y'all heard? Look what he's saying. God answered him saying, you cannot serve me. I have no servants. Serve Yahweh only. Behold, we are all brothers. Yahshua taught that, didn't he? We are all brothers, being sons of the same great spirit. As for building me up, it is sufficient for me that he who created me will build me up according to my just deserts. I don't need y'all to build me up. The Creator will build me up based off my just deserts. You can't serve me. I don't have slaves. Serve the Creator only. We are brothers and sisters of the same spirit. As for adorning my throne, you can only bring substance to it from the lower kingdoms. He's like, I don't want none of that. Whatever you bring to my throne gonna come from something that's beneath where I'm at. Which I do not desire. Why would you adorn the heavenly city of Meru? Behold, it is merely a resting place on the great journey to the kingdoms of endless light. In a few hundred years at most, not only I, but my host will raise from this place, never to return. So true God is just letting the emissaries of the false God who got down with the false God Ahura, but now trying to get back in good graces with the Creator. He letting it be known, I don't want your subjects. I don't want your servants. I don't want your diamonds. I don't want you to adorn my throne. And why is you hooking up this heavenly kingdom right here? This ain't nothing but a rest spot, a resting place on the great journey to the kingdoms, plural, of endless light. Why would you deck this out as if it's the all highest, like Ahura decked out Sea Tusk? See, when you decking it out like that, you got people thinking it's the all highest. Behold, it is merely a resting place on the great journey to the kingdoms of endless light. In a few hundred years at the most, not only I, but my host will rise from this place, never to return. He's like, look, I'm out of here. A few hundred years. I don't want your servants, your slaves. I don't want your worship. I don't want your jewels. I don't want you to build up this kingdom. I can't sell nothing to you. I have no preferment for you. Huh? You got a kingdom. Go raise them up then. And lastly, look at this, y'all. This is powerful. This is powerful. Book of Divinity 12 and 26. Look at this. And lastly, to be a self-God like Ahura is to own all things possible and hold on to them. To be a God as I am, true God, is to own nothing and to retain nothing, but to be forever given away all one receives. Did I not say to you before, begin with your own hosts and exalt them? Because you asked for subjects, behold, the Father gave to you. Do not think that he will permit you now to cast them aside or barter them off. Neither shall you allow them to become wanderers, nor return back to the earth as drudges. To the extent that you raise up the kingdoms that have been entrusted to you, so will you also be raised up. They say, look, you got to raise it up yourself. You got to do that. Right? To be a God as me is to own nothing, to retain nothing, to always be giving away whatever I receive. And we got to ask ourselves that. And we talking about we want the kingdoms of the Creator. It's a certain mindset. It's a certain mindset that we got to be in. And one of it is detachment from physical quantum things. And we see angels in the heavens still attached, talking about and boasting about what they own. You know what I mean? Powerful. Look at this. Verse 27. Nevertheless, if you desire to affiliate with YAHWH'S kingdoms, the way is open to you. You see? The way is open to anyone. If you want to be a part of the Creator's kingdoms, the way is open to you. All right? We told not to force this on nobody. We just read through it and go through it. It either resonate with you or it don't. You know, a lot of our people are in denial, though. When you start hearing this higher light, you be in denial. You get the little boosy lips, white stuff around your lips. You get the scratching inordinately, going crazy. You dig? You be in denial, man. That's it. It's just denial. DENIAL. Don't even know I am lying. DENIAL. Denial. Don't even know I am lying. You see? And that's what's happening. We see as we shed more of this Ethereal light and bust up these regions of darkness and deliver a few hells. That's what we heard. That's what we heard. That's what we see. All right. But the way to the Creator's kingdom is open to all. Nevertheless, if you desire to affiliate with YAHWH'S kingdoms, the way is open to you. And your first labor would be to gather together all your own hosts and to labor among them, teaching them wisdom, strength, and individuality equal with yourselves. And when the lowest of them is all, and when the lowest of them all is risen, and when the lowest of them all is risen, so then you can enter the kingdoms of the Father. As you have had the profit of your subjects for hundreds of years, return now to them service for service. YAHWH'S justice. That's fair. That's fair. That's fair right there. You want to get back. The way is open. You understand? But guess what? Guess what? You got to return service for service. All right? You got to raise all them up to where they're equal with you. And when the lowest of them all is risen, so then you can enter the kingdoms of the Father. Yeah. Yeah. As you have had the profit of your subjects for hundreds of years, return now to them service for service. YAHWH is justice. So whether we men or whether we angels, our job is to impart wisdom, knowledge, power, understanding, healing, love, all the attributes of the Creator. Not only to mankind, but also to angels. Dang, that's cool. That's fair right there. That makes sense. YAHWH is justice. Y'all get some understanding? Give me a 4 up in the chat. Give me a 4 up in the chat. Bless up. Bless up. Dig. Bless up, y'all. Bless up. Y'all, we just sharing the info. Whoever, you don't like it, you got a right to move on. One thing we ain't doing is forcing nothing. You dig? But a lot of mealy-mouth Negroes will attract. It's like the moth to the flame. I can't stand that blockhead nigga Mally, but man, let me click on and see what he's talking about. I know. I'm already here. Yeah, I understand. I know. It did. But a lot of this is resonating, man. It's resonating with our spirit. With a lot of us, I get the calls and the messages a lot. It makes sense. You know what I mean? A lot of that makes sense, man. Just be right, man. Stop being a scumbag. Stop being a misfit. Just be right in your intentions, man. That's all you got to be. Just be right, man. Just be right. That made sense, right? They didn't serve you for 100 years. Now you got to turn around and serve them for hundreds of years. Service for service. YAHWH's justice. All right? You asked the Creator for servants and you got them, and now you want to give them away. He like, nah. That's your responsibility. Raise them up. We be complaining about the youngins in the streets. They pansacking. They on drugs. They gangbanging. Stop all that milly mouth and go raise them up. Go raise them. What do you mean? That's it. Get out there and hug them brothers and sisters. Tell them you love them. You dig? And encourage them to be better. Raise them up. And if you can provide a situation that will remedy their problems, then make sure you do that. All right? YHWH'S justice, baby. Ooh, wait, let's keep reading. Almost done for the day. Today's reading is very, very, it resonates with my spirit, man. The sub guys made no answer to this for a while, but Yahweh moved upon their hearts, and they perceived wisdom and justice. And they perceived wisdom and justice, and they repented bitterly, bewailing the loss of the 1,000 years in which they had espoused kingdom. They like, dang, dog, we was there. If we would have sat still for a couple hundred more years, less than 200 years, we could already been up out of here. You see, we didn't have patience. The patience made them miss it, delayed their inheritance. So now they got to do all this work for another 100, maybe 1,000 years before they can even get to what it is that the Creator promised them. You see, so brothers and sisters, we need patience within ourselves, with dealing with our brothers and sisters. Oh, you need patience with them. And there's no sense in getting angry. We get humorous at times, crack jokes and all that, but man, it ain't no hatred over this way for none of the brothers and sisters. It ain't no hatred over this way for none of the milly mouth. None of them. Like, I really mean it when I be like, shout out to the haters, jaw jackers, and naysayers. It ain't no hate there. Not from this way. You feel me? It's just what it is. You know what I mean? I done had people holler at me over the past year and a half, 2 years, like, bro, I see what you're saying now. Dang. Glad you kept going. I'm like, yeah, bro, I ain't gonna stop. I'm in the trenches till the Creator call me out the trenches, baby. Now look at this. The sub guys made no answer to this for a while, but Yahweh moved upon their hearts, and they perceived wisdom and justice, and they repented bitterly. But wasn't the loss of the 1,000 years in which they had espoused kingdoms. But they did not have sufficient power or learning, education, to extricate themselves. So they petitioned God for more light. They're like, we need more light to do this. We don't even got the education to do what you're talking about. And so God affiliated them and appointed Vishnu as Lord to them and their hosts. And Vishnu took 300,000 teachers, captains, physicians, nurses, and laborers, and went to them in Maitreya, a heavenly place to the west of India. And there established a lordly division with messengers connecting them to Meru and Haredi. And Vishnu sent his captains with sufficient forces under command of the sub-gods to arrest those who had become wandering spirits or had returned to the earth as drudge. He's like, look, go detain all them. You understand? The earth cannot be overpopulated with too many wandering spirits, right? It'll be counterproductive. And while they were on this duty, Vishnu organized his lordom. And this was the first lordom established in heaven, which is to say, as mortals on earth have military stations, so was the lordom of Vishnu. Yahweh's voice had spoken to God and Diva, saying, behold, the time is coming when the sub-kingdoms of Ahura the False will begin to revolt. And they have billions of slaves who will strive to go back to the earth to dwell with mortals. They dwell in darkness, and you shall not allow them to regain the earth, lest the races of men go down in darkness, even as before the submersion of the continent of Pan. For which reason you shall establish a lordom and raise a sufficient army to shield the inhabitants of the earth, and you shall make Vishnu your Lord in my behalf. When it was known in Cetus, the heavenly place of Ahura, that 60 sub-gods with their hosts had affiliated with Yahweh's kingdoms, general disobedience to Ahura was manifested by the remaining sub-gods, of whom there were yet more than 800. And these had within their dominions more than 2 billion angels, all slaves, who had light from no other heavenly place than the small precinct where they had been kept in drudgery for hundreds of years. The voice of Yahweh came to God saying, my son, take advantage. See, the Creator is strategic. Take advantage of the seed of disaffection in Ahura's kingdom. Send an Otivan, a fire ship of great power throughout the heavenly kingdoms. And you should put trumpeters in the Otivan, and they shall prophesy the dawn of Dan within 200 years. God perceived, and he had his workmen build an Otivan of great power. And he provided trumpeters and sent them forth, saying to them, you should travel 10 years in the heavenly places around the whole earth, prophesying less than 200 years, YHWH'S Ethereal hosts are coming. Prepare for the resurrection. His kingdoms are open for the weary. His lords and gods will give you rest. Ahura summoned his council of false gods, hoping they might invent a remedy to counteract so great a prophecy. And he and his council set 40 days and 40 nights in their heavenly capital. There was no highlight among them, merely each one giving his opinion. But at the end of 40 days, Ahura resolved upon the following method to send a prophecy of his own. Accordingly, he had an OT vine built and sent trumpeters forth with these words: I, Ahura Mazda, only son of the all-nothing presence, personated in my very self, proclaimed from my all highest heavenly judgment seat. This is what the false God is saying. Hear my words, O gods, and tremble. Hear me, O angels, and fall down. Hear me, O mortals, and bow down to my decrees. Behold, I sent my fire ship, prophesied that in less than 200 years I will come in the dawn of Dan, but you did not obey. You were defiant before me. Then I swore an oath against the whole world. You shall know my power. Then I came down out of my holy high heaven, and I have already come. Now is the dawn of Dan. I send my trumpeters first. After them come my lashers and chainers, whose captain is Devas, whose God is HonorandHumilitySTL. I will have mine, and I will cast into everlasting torments drunks and drudges by the thousands and tens of thousands. The everlasting torments the false God is talking about. All right, look at this. Ahura's gods had become acquainted with him. Look at this. Ahura's gods had become acquainted with him during the hundreds and hundreds of years, and they no longer trembled at his commandments. In their hearts, they knew he could not do what he professed. They knew his prophecies were vain boastings. Indeed, his very trumpeters did not believe what they proclaimed. Oh, wait. Oh, wait. When we get back on next time, we're going to go into when his kingdom actually fell. You dig? And how him and his hosts were cast into some type of judgments and hells and all that, and the delivering of them. You dig? To what's going on to this very day. All right, so there's judgment and all that. All right, there's judgment, but chestnuts roasting on an open fire for eternity ain't, you know what I mean, that right there ain't right and exact. That's it, you dig? And that's why we be getting at these false gods, because we don't want to see no brother and sister bound in a hell knot. You know, eventually, guess who gonna have to come deliver you? You dig? One of the angels of the Creator, possibly one of us, will have to come deliver you, sever the knot, and bust that deal wide on open at the commandment of the Creator, restore your spirit, you understand, get you back in front of true God, and then true God gonna give you a judgment like, hey, this is what you got to do to clean up the mess that you made. That's it. You dig? But don't take that judgment lightly. That sometimes them judgments be for hundreds of years. You be bound. You know what I mean? Bound, tormented. You understand? And a lot of the kings and queens of the earth, right? Those leaders of organizations, those that's down with the warfare and the bloodshed and all that, man, look, if you know what you're saying is wrong and you somebody that leads an organization, you better start cleaning all that up right now. What you waiting on? You better start cleaning that up right now. Because if you don't clean it up in this world, you're going to have to clean it up in the next. That's it. That's it. Slave master ain't got away with nothing. Nothing. As you read over, you say, dang. And he called them the barbarians. The barbarians. They ain't got away with nothing. No thing. Nothing. So if y'all got some understanding today, you know what I mean? Even if you don't believe everything you heard, but if it was clear to you, like, oh, okay, I can see that happening. That makes sense more than what I believed thus far. If you got some understanding today, go ahead and give me a 9 up in the chat. Bless up, bless up. We right over the 2-hour mark. I'm about to go ahead and get up out of here, finish my day of grinding. Yeah, it ain't number 1:36 Central Standard Time. So, you know, I got to keep grinding, doing my thing. But I wanted to get on here and share these things with the family. Because as I read through, you know, you got to come on through and share. Get it done, man. You did. Look, if not anything else taken, learn about the patience. Because you dealing with the false gods and those that roll with them actually was in a good position before they rebelled. They actually was in a good position. All they had to do was wait a little while longer and they would have been up out of here. But because the patience wasn't there, guess what? It delayed their inheritance for well over 1,000 years because patience wasn't there. So we need to learn patience. And also, I thought was very interesting when True God was saying to be God is me, is to own nothing, to have nothing, to retain nothing. Whatever I give, such as wisdom and power, I'm always imparting it to others. What you mean? To work for others and don't receive nothing? Yeah. Except you'll get a boatload of happiness and it will last forever. So even in the flesh, we can apply that and say, look, I'm here to work for others. I'm here to work for myself. I'm here to work for others. I'm here to assist you in your salvation. You see what I'm saying? And now we moving like the angels of the second resurrection and higher. We moving like the brides and bridegrooms of the Creator. You did? So make your walk about helping others, raising others up in righteousness. You feel me? That's what our Creator's asking you to do. And whatever wrong you done did out here, right it. Right your wrongs, man. Make it your business to go right your wrongs. That's it. You know what I mean? Right your wrongs, man. You spilled it, clean it up. You see what I'm saying? That's it. But eventually, we all get to where the Creator, you know what I mean, ordained for us. Eventually, you get there. There's some faster than others. You know what I mean? Some got to go through all that, the judgment and the torment and all that. But eventually, they get to where they're supposed to be because they learn from their, shortcomings and all that. That's it. You dig? So look, I love all y'all. Indeed and the truth. Bless up. You understand? Shout out to my Nazarene and Sing Fake This brothers and sisters. You understand that? Know that. Shout out to the haters, jaw jackers, and naysayers with the little boosy lips right now with the white stuff around the lips. Love y'all too. Y'all be all right. Y'all be all right. It ain't nothing but love and light over here. Peace be within you and without you. Until the next time, Mac be your brother in arms. You understand? I'm out of here. Shalom.